Hello everybody, I'm Max Ham until I dox my real name, and it's E3 time! It's that wonderful time of year when gamers everywhere celebrate being advertised to, and YouTubers make low-effort content to capitalize on it, and I'm not above any of it. So let's talk about my most anticipated game of 2021, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC. So far on the channel I've made several Smash Bros character moveset concepts and a fool of myself, but then I came to the realization that we might be nearing the end of actual real Smash Bros character editions, at least for Ultimate, and I want to talk about it. So join me as I give my thoughts on some of the more speculated characters, mostly ignore leaks, rumors, and what's actually likely to happen, and get weirdly sentimental about the game where Yoshi can jump kick Isabelle. So far, we've gotten 4 of 6 fighters from Fighter Pass 2, so we know there's 2 more to come. When will we find out who they are? My guess is E3 for both. That might be overly optimistic or just a straight up dumb guy take, but it's not a baseless assumption. Every time Smash has been at E3, it's shown up with 2 or more fighters, assuming we count Roy and Daisy. So while they could stagger these last 2 characters out, there's precedent for getting 2 reveals at once. Personally, I think that's the most likely scenario right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but right now my gut says that Masahiro Sakurai is like a suburban mother, pregnant with twins, and E3 is like the backyard for his gender reveal party. That's the worst line I'll ever write. But will we get more after that? Will there be a 3rd Fighter's Pass, or a bonus fighter for us good boys and girls? Personally, I doubt it. I mean, they have explicitly said there's only 2 more, which I took to be a subtle clue that there might only be 2 more. Of course, more on top of that would be nice, obviously. Especially for characters like Waluigi, who will perfectly fit the mold of a bonus fighter because he doesn't need a new stage or music and can just bring his winning smile. Still, I doubt it. Ultimate's roster is already great, and a hype train can't run forever, so Challenger Pack 11 is probably going to be the final destination, and it might be at E3, and that sounds fine to me. So, if there are 2 more Smash characters, and sadly they aren't Waluigi, then who are they? Let's go over some of the big names so that we can be completely blindsided when it's someone like Terry that nobody was talking about. First parties! Nintendo could add a Nintendo character to their Nintendo fighting game, the Absolute Maniacs. First-party characters are in a strange spot right now, because almost all of them would make a portion of the dedicated Nintendo audience very happy, but aside from the good Purple Man, most first-party characters aren't big, show-stopping, headline-grabbing possibilities. Which is fine, they don't need to be. Smash has always been made better by having both hugely famous mascots and more niche characters. I call it the Ike-Icon spectrum. Personally, I've really liked seeing recent characters like Min Min or the Aegis Girls bring their game worlds into Smash, even if they didn't break Twitter. Still, considering character reveals like Mega Man, Banjo, and probably Steve have been intended as big E3 reveals, we find ourselves in an odd position where big third-party characters almost seem more likely than more humble Nintendo fighters for at least one of these final 2 reveals. But if we do get another Nintendo fighter, one character that would make fans of their series overjoyed but get a smaller reaction from mainstream crowds is Bandana Waddle Dee. Imagine you're at a biker bar, and you meet a guy with a bandana who goes by Bandana. That's already kinda metal, and then you realize he's carrying a goddamn spear. Bandana Waddle Dee might seem quaint from the outside, but he's got a lot going for him. The adorable spear fighter has significant fan support behind him, and series prominence from the Kirby series, which is the series that has the most DNA shared with Smash Bros. One of the most frustrating things for Kirby fans is that because Kirby games share so much DNA with Smash, Kirby fans know exactly what Kirby characters would bring to Smash. People want to play as Bandana Waddle Dee in Smash because they've already played as Bandana Waddle Dee, and it was fun. But will we ever see Bandana DLC? I kinda doubt it. Despite being a seamless fit for Smash, I don't think this character is exciting enough for a mainstream audience to make an enormous splash or bring new people to Smash. And if Smash fans haven't checked out the Kirby games by now, why would Bandana Dee change their minds? I just don't think it makes sense from an advertising point of view. Still, I think he's a perfect choice for the next game's base roster. Kind of like Tom Nook. Tom Nook will be in Smash someday. Animal Crossing was always a juggernaut franchise, but after New Horizons it's one of Nintendo's crown jewels. It may have already gotten Smash fighters in Smash 4 and Ultimate, but if any series deserves to have express delivery on future Smash invitations, it's Animal Crossing. And aside from a few Mario characters and Gen 1 Pokemon, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more famous Nintendo character that has yet to duke it out with Master Hand than Thomas Goddamn Nook. Between Ultimate's DLC and the next game's base roster, I truly believe that Tom Nook is the single most likely new Smash character. emphasis on next game's base roster. He's not going to be Ultimate DLC, there's no fan demand for it, and the timing's off in terms of New Horizons blowing up. Still, if it somehow does happen, you heard it here first. New Zelda rep. Zelda characters in Smash include Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. That's kind of weird, skewed representation for a series as big and beloved as Zelda, right? Obviously Link, Zelda, and Ganon represent for Triforce, so this representation makes some sense, but considering there hasn't been a truly new Zelda character in Smash since Melee, there's definitely an appetite for something new from Hyrule among Smash fans. There's plenty of options. Impa is an enduring fan favourite, Tingle is notorious, and Breath of the Wild's champions are all excellent, larger-than-life ambassadors for some of Zelda's staple races and cultures. And if Smash must be tied to the Triforce, maybe Zelda herself is a complete badass in Breath of the Wild too, and they'll add Zelda Gone Wild for cross-promotion. I've also seen a lot of folks mention the idea of Pig Ganon in Smash. Something about that character request always seemed so classy to me. Pig Ganon may be a pig, but he has the dignity of being a Zelda character, the vintage of being a retro character, and the sense of cosmic justice of being an original moveset for Ganon. Every time I see people ask for Pig Ganon, I think of that meme where Mr. Anime calls someone a man of culture, but as much as I like Pig Ganon, I'm not a true man of culture, because I think the best Zelda rep would be the Breath of the Wild Bokoblin, because he's a scrappy little maniac monster man. Will any of these Zelda reps happen? Maybe? All I know is if they add another Link, I'll scream like I'm doing a spin attack. Speaking of characters that'd make Smash fans scream, Sword and Shield Pokemon! The idea of getting a new Pokemon is kind of seen as a dreaded inevitability in many Smash circles, something to be spoken about in hushed whispers and feared lest we will it into existence. The reason people might be afraid is easy to understand. Smash already has a lot of Pokemon. Smash has always added new Pokemon, and people would like to see Smash focus on something other than Pokemon. Plus, a lot of the Pokemon that seem more likely for Smash, critters such as Starter Evo's Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon, or legendary Punching Bear Urshifu, just aren't as universally popular as Pokemon like Greninja or Lucario were back in their days. So it's understandable that some folks might be apprehensive about one of the final two Ultimate characters being a Pokemon. As for me, I think I'd be okay with it. I like Pokemon. I like that Pokemon in Smash are often some of Sakurai's more experimental moveset designs. I like most of the Gen 8 Pokemon designs, but most of all, I love the Sword and Shield soundtrack, and would welcome that specifically into Ultimate with open arms and an open wallet. Will it happen? I kinda doubt it. I don't think a new Pokemon is as likely as people fear that it is, but I think there's someone that the Smash community fears far more than any Pokemon. As we move on to third parties. If you thought that Sephiroth brought Smash despair, that's nothing compared to what would happen if Smash added Jonesy! I'm ancient, so I remember when Epic Games and Cliffy B, hot off the success of Gears of War 3, announced a little survival game called Fortnite. This project remained quiet for years, occasionally coming out with a small update or article or a trailer that would only get a few thousand views, with all the comments calling that one girl thick with 2 C's. I was looking forward to that game, but as the sands of time passed, it fell off my radar. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, it's the biggest game on the planet! It's a battle royale now, and kids everywhere are default dancing, and a ninja is famous, and the bus flies, and I guess they're just straight up watching Christopher Nolan's Inception? I'm an old man, and Fortnite is confusing to me, and I think a lot of the Smash community feels the same way. Some Smash fans don't want Fortnite in Smash because it would feel like a trend-chasing, shark-jumping, and maybe even hashtag cringe moment for a game series they hold so dear. We already saw this intergenerational backlash a bit with Minecraft Steve. This is definitely hyperbolic, but I think some Smash fans might kinda see Smash embracing these new big games as Smash losing its soul, or even worse, as a sign that us adult Smash fans are somehow growing too old for our game where Mario meets Kirby. Now, of course, that's not the only reason people might not want Fortnite in Smash. People might just sincerely not like the game, its culture, or Fortnite's Ready Player One anything goes aesthetic, and any Fortnite fighter would likely be a defensive zoning character in Smash, so I get why a Jonesy challenger pack is often seen as a worst case scenario. Personally, I welcome our new Fortnite overlords. I loved Minecraft getting into Smash. I love whenever Smash embraces the video game game Hall of Fame aspect of itself, and I am absolutely down for whatever nonsense Jonesy has to offer. I think it's too soon to actually happen, but I've never been more ready to fight on a battlefield form battle bus. Of course, how could I forget my favourite Fortnite character? Master Chief! Master Chief was and is my most wanted Smash Bros character, so not much has changed on that front, except our boy in green now has a grappling hook, so that's neat. That makes the prospect of him getting in even more exciting, considering what happened to the last guy to use one of those. But for that to happen, Chief does have some hurdles to overcome, like the firearm debate. Are his guns two-gun? Well, let's see. Bayonetta's guns are magical, Joker's guns are canonically fake, and Snake's RPG is something I don't think American Walmarts stock. Chief, however, uses somewhat realistic bullet-firing pistols and assault rifles, and that might mean, if he were to get in, he would hurt Smash's age rating in a way that those characters could just barely avoid. Additionally, Halo's only presence on Nintendo consoles is via Minecraft and Fortnite, which is an incredible sentence, but makes him a tough sell for the big Nintendo crossover. Speaking of Minecraft, since I last talked about Chief, Steve was added to Smash. I like Steve, and it's great to see Microsoft and Nintendo working so closely, but I think it would be very surprising for that relationship to extend to 2 out of 6 Fighter Pass 2 characters being from Microsoft. Unless, of course, one of those Microsoft characters wasn't a Microsoft character when they first got the Smash invitation. Doomslayer! There's something poetic about Doom Guy and Master Chief being brothers in arms thanks to the Microsoft Bethesda buyout, ignoring any ethical implications of giant corporations buying other, smaller but still giant corporations. But anyway, Doom Guy. I haven't talked about it on the channel yet, but I'm really on board with the Doomslayer joining Smash. Doom's legacy is phenomenal. The first game is a landmark game in the same way that Greenland is a landmark, and the modern games are damn near the pinnacle of FPS design, at least Doom 2016 is. I haven't gotten around to playing Doom Eternal yet, but I did play Animal Crossing the month it released, so I get the gist. As for the Doomslayer himself, he's awesome. He's fast, brutal, and has a huge arsenal including some of gaming's most famous weapons of destruction. On that note, I've heard some folks say he's too violent for Smash, but honestly, I think like Master Chief, it's just the guns being guns that might threaten Smash's age rating. His ripping and tearing is a bloody onslaught in Doom, but without the gore, I think moves inspired by it could be basically as aggressive as some of Ridley's moves, which is clearly fine by Smash standards. Any student of video game history respects Doom, and Sakurai is no exception. According to a Source Gaming translation, when Cloud joined Smash, Sakurai and Tetsuya Nomura were interviewed, and at one point they were discussing game developers born the same year as them, 1970, and the only Western developer Sakurai mentions is John Carmack, Doom programmer and, as Sakurai puts it, the father of SPSs. But will Sakurai's respect for Doom translate to anything for Smash? Hell if I know. Rayman! How is this guy not in Smash already? It's like Nintendo is negging Ubisoft at this point. His attacks in Rayman Origins and Legends were practically an audition reel for Smash. He's been the most enthusiastic third-party character for things like trophies and spirits, and I'm legally obligated to mention Artsy Omni's fake Rayman leak for Smash 4, which proved that the community would be very receptive towards him joining. I think the fact he wasn't a Mii costume alongside Altair and the Rabbids is conspicuous, so I'll go out on a limb and say he's got a good chance. But considering how Rayman feels about limbs, that might not mean much. Sora! Why do people think that Disney doesn't want this one to happen? What about Smash Bros goes against Disney's brand values? Why wouldn't they want a cute moment in a trailer where Mario stands next to King Mickey on a Kingdom Hearts stage? Don't get me wrong, Disney can do some sketchy things, and Sephiroth definitely stole Square Enix's Fighter Pass 2 invitation like it's a flower girl's life, so Sora's not happening, but I've never understood why Disney is the villain in this one specific instance. For what it's worth, I think he's an excellent choice. Sora's an extremely popular request, and Kingdom Hearts' tone of epic melodrama featuring Scrooge McDuck mirrors Smash's mix of serious anime heroes and world-famous cartoony mascots perfectly. Lloyd Irving. Never count out JRPG characters in Smash. I'll be honest, I'm not very familiar with the Tales series, but on the surface, Lloyd definitely has the resume to be in Smash. He seems to be the Cloud Strife of the series in terms of prominence, he's got decent fan support that's only increased over the years, and I really want to see what Sakurai would do with the dual katana fighting style. So far, Pit and Pitu are the only Smash sword fighters to dual-wield their blades, so I'm curious what a modern take on that fighting style would look like. Bandai Namco not having a second character after Pac-Man feels increasingly surprising, and the fact that Lloyd's Mii costume hasn't returned feels significant, although that could be misdirection or mean nothing. Geno's Mii costume not being in Smash felt like a big deal until it very much wasn't. Of course, if Lloyd did join, that would mean reigniting the anime swordsman discourse, but at this point that conversation is so familiar it's like visiting an old friend. Although, I think there's another Namco Bandai sword fighter that Smash fans are severely underestimating. The Chosen Undead. Dark Souls is probably the most influential Japanese game IP of the 2010s, right? Demon's Souls may have paved the way for it, but it was the Namco Bandai published Dark Souls that put From Software on the map. Dark Souls was a super iconic, worldwide phenomenon that kickstarted a genre and inspired everyone from Star Wars to some Australians. And Namco Bandai just so happens to have a little connection to Smash Bros. Ultimate, seeing as they made it. Considering Sakurai loves video game history and supporting Japanese games, and Sakurai was working in the same building as the Dark Souls owners pre-quarantine, surely the topic of Souls in Smash has come up at the water cooler, right? I think Dark Souls characters are the front runners that nobody is talking about. The Chosen Undead is the player character from the first game, and I think would be the best choice. If not the Chosen Undead, I could see them including a boss like Artorias, or having Solaire praise the sun alongside the Wii Fit trainer, but those picks seem like unlikely curveballs to me. If it is the Undead, it'd probably be an armoured heavyweight sword fighter, although if the designers wanted to spice things up, they could utilise archery or magic or weapons new to Smash like clubs and halberds. And maybe their up special could be them curling into a ball for 30 seconds until a giant crow flies them away. Anyway, let's talk about Sonic characters. Some of you have been asking me, what about Tails, angry emoji? And I get where your emoji is coming from, my friend. Sonic is a Smash staple at this point, so it's increasingly amazing that the Hedgehog is still alone on this roster. Tails is an obvious choice, as he's kind of the Luigi to Sonic's Mario, or the Foxy Falco to Sonic's Fox. And Knuckles is a great pick as well, to the point that he's such a famous video game character that even the phrase "and Knuckles" is iconic. Unfortunately, both might be in Mii costume purgatory for the time being. After Sephiroth joined Smash, a lot of eyes turned to Dr. Eggman, seeing as they're both Hot Boy villains from third-party games that already have their protagonists in Smash. As far as I'm concerned, Dr. Eggman, like all Jim Carrey characters, would be an incredible addition to Smash. Although, Eggman's probably not going to happen as Ultimate DLC, because almost nobody was even considering him until Sephiroth showed up, and Smash characters rarely fit patterns or trends. Still, Sonic's a beloved enough series that's been with Smash long enough that I think a second fighter would be more than warranted, be it Eggman or Tails or Knuckles or Charmy or Shadow. Sonic characters are such vibrant designs with such distinct personalities that they all fit Smash's aesthetic like a cartoony giant glove. I'd even let them put in my OC, Max the Hamhog. He's very strong and a time traveler. Crash Bandicoot! Crash Bandicoot should be in Smash Bros., and maybe he will be. Literally every other video game character. This video can't go on forever. I didn't even have time to talk about Ryu Hayabusa, or Lara Croft, or the Heavy, or Chun-Li, or Shantae, or Dante, or Gandhi from Civilization. Smash speculation has ramped up to such a chaotic and beautiful place because it feels like anything could happen. We've seen the kinds of characters Smash lets in its stores evolve and escalate so much that it feels like almost every character has a case based on some precedent, and if there isn't a precedent for a character, then maybe that character will be the one to blow up the so-called rules yet again. It's just so exciting to be near the finish line without it seeming like any major leaks have spoiled anything, like winning a marathon without pissing your pants. So, who do I think it'll be? I have no idea, and I have an abysmal track record of guessing what's next. If you pushed me to make a guess, I'd say we're only getting 2 more characters. Both will be revealed at E3, neither will be first party, and they'll be, I don't know, Rayman and Chosen Undead. That duo sounds good to me. I look forward to immediately being wrong. Conclusion. You might have noticed that I was pretty positive on just about everyone in this video, and that's because, honestly, I think most of the popular character requests are good picks. This might be a boring or sycophantic take, but the characters people talk about are talked about because they have solid arguments to get into Smash. The characters people aren't talking about can always be a pleasant surprise. So far, every new edition has been a wonderful celebration of whichever game's being represented, which, for me, either means a bunch of fan service and references for games I've played, or it's an opportunity to learn more about a game franchise I might not know much about. Let's face it, any character is going to make a ton of people happy, ignite the internet with spicy hot takes and discourse, astound, delight, confuse, and most importantly, be an insufferable nightmare to fight against in Elite Smash. Masahiro Sakurai has worked in this series for over 20 years, with several teams of really talented creators, and in that time, it's ballooned into this great, wonderful miracle of gaming fan service, chaotic nonsense, and corporate negotiations. And it's not that unlikely that Sakurai might move on from Smash after Ultimate, so I'm excited to see what's in that desk drawer of his, and to be here for all the excitement, celebration, and salt of Ultimate's last fighters. So whoever it is, I'm ready for Smash Speculation's final destination.